Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome your host for this evening, Emma Freud.
Thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2013 Ashden Awards ceremony. It's a huge pleasure for me to be presenting this year's awards and a joy to welcome everybody here, as well as all the people who are watching via the webcam. Webcam viewers, I don't think you can see the audience here. I need to tell you there's about 500 of them and they're incredibly attractive. Needed to establish that. It's my first time presenting these awards. I will try to be as grown up as my predecessor, Anna Ford, although I will never, ever be as tall as her, sadly. Though I'll always be a tiny bit younger. Yeah, I know. Get them on your side at the beginning, Emma. Tonight we are going to recognise and celebrate some truly inspirational energy champions. This year there were nearly 270 entries, from which 26 finalists were selected by the judging panels to compete for a coveted Ashden Trophy. We have awards in 5 categories, and tonight we're going to find out who made it to the final 14 and hear a little bit more about their inspirational solutions. It's going to be excellent. And then afterwards there's alcohol. So, our first category is the UK Awards. There were 7 finalists up for awards in this category. Let's see who made it to the final 4.
In the UK, we look for winners from a diversity of sectors that demonstrate the potential of renewable energy and energy efficiency to cut energy bills, create jobs, and reduce fuel poverty.
Our purpose is to explore and demonstrate and create a distributed, decentralized energy system just around our town. It's essential that just looking down on this town, it just becomes normal to take an interest in these issues.
The whisker system is a method for taking several building processes and then systemising them so that when you carry out the installation of a wall insulation, it's done quickly, cleanly and rapidly.
From the moment you walked into that property to the boards being delivered can be done in 24 hours.
Well, there are about 7 million homes across the UK that have solid walls, and the problem with those types of properties is that they're generally in conservation areas where you can't put wall insulation on the outside of the property because planners object.
The bills have decreased dramatically and the comfort of the house has increased, well, it's beyond belief actually.
Oh, the energy bills have been fantastic.
We do notice a difference, a big difference, and we're very happy with it.
National Energy Action, the work they've done has been invaluable in developing the industry, developing the work that my company does, and in making sure that people are warmer in their own homes. On the NEA course, you learn how to help people to be more energy efficient in their own homes, how to make their homes cheaper to heat, how to make them more comfortable, and help people to get out of fuel poverty. This is what NEA is all about.
CoolPhase is a low-energy cooling and ventilation system designed and manufactured by Monodraft. CoolPhase makes use of phase change material when we put cool phase into a room, the phase change material will absorb thermal energy, thus reducing the internal temperatures and offsetting the internal heat gains throughout the day. The only mechanical component of the system is the fan that's housed in the air handling unit, and that will use typically from 10 to 50 watts during sort of daytime running mode. Cool phase is an evolution in technology. It's a brand new concept and there's nothing comparable on the market.
Ladies and gentlemen, to present all 4 of the UK awards, I am honoured to share a stage with one of the most respected authors, broadcasters and commentators of the environment movement, co-founder of Forum of the Future and an Ashden trustee and the Thinking Woman's David Attenborough. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Porritt. Always been so handsome. The first UK award is the Impacts Ashden Award for Energy Innovation, and this year it's going to a groundbreaking innovation that could revolutionise the ventilation and cooling market. The winner is Monodraft.
First of all, my colleague, Nick Hopper. Many of you will remember what it was like to study in a hot and stuffy classroom. How sleepy it makes you feel. Many of you may have spent today in an office that was much the same, especially here in London. It's scientifically proven that cooler, better ventilated classroom helps kids stay alert and so improve their ability to learn. The benefit can equate 10 hours productive study time every month. And it's the same in offices, where people work better and more efficiently in a cooler and well-ventilated environment. Our new cool phase system is a natural cooling and ventilation system, which uses very little energy. Actually, the same energy as an efficient light bulb. We want to make a difference on energy consumption and so provide a good indoor climate for all of you, whatever you are studying, like the kids, or you are here tonight, which are here tonight, or working hard in offices. Thank you.
Our second trophy is the UK award supported by our Friends scheme. This organisation is a leader in training energy advisors with the skills they need to help people out of fuel poverty. The award for training and capacity building goes to National Energy Action.
Good evening. Back in the mid-1980s, I joined a small band of people in Newcastle, committed to helping unemployed people gain work experience and training through community energy projects. At that time, there were no accredited national standards or qualifications. I am delighted that 30 years on, NEA's achievement in creating a package of training qualifications has been recognised by Ashden. These have set and continue to lead the industry standard for energy advice in the home. Thousands of people are still trained by us every year across the UK, and their advice and services have helped millions of people in fuel poverty to save money, to save energy, and to have healthier homes. Thank you to my hard-working and dedicated training and campaigning team.
Our third UK award is the Ashden Award for Sustainable Buildings. This winner's made a giant leap forward that could transform energy efficiency in our homes. They are Sustainable Energy Academy and United House.
Okay, there are approximately one in 5 households in the United Kingdom who are in fuel poverty. There are 27,000 deaths a year attributed to hypothermia or other illnesses caused by those cold homes. And all of this is in the 21st century. We know that utility bills will only keep rising. The cost of insulating those homes would be £30 billion. Yet despite bailing out banks for £90 billion or 3 times that sum, there are no direct government funds attributable to leaving fuel poverty behind in those houses.
Can we afford to ignore this problem? No. We need to act now because we are a big society. We're not saying that Whiskers is a cure-all, but myself, Chris, and our organisations are passionate about making home insulation more cost-effective and easier to install so that we are able to begin to tackle some of these basic wrongs. As you saw in the film, we put the money back into the pockets of those who need it most, not the corporations. Thank you.
Thank you.
And our final UK award tonight is the Ashden Award for Community Energy. This winner serves as a persuasive case for other towns to get energy smart. I'm thrilled to announce it's Wadebridge Renewable Energy Network.
With this.
Really? Might keep it.
I'm amazed to be here at all, to be in the company of these amazing innovators when we're so completely ordinary. But perhaps we're a bit dangerously ordinary. The wren is very small and fluffy, but it's also very noisy and very territorial. And on our territory, we want to get our hands on the £10 million energy economy that leaks out of our area and invest it in wiser, sustainable solutions and reinvest it in our community. Many groups do the same sorts of things that we do. One of the most elegant, a previous Ashden winner, was the Isle of Egg. And some people have said that it's not a useful model because there are only 92 inhabitants. But if you square that 92 population, by coincidence, reach the population of Wadebridge, 8,300. So we are a kind of square egg. And then if you square our population, you have the population of the UK. So ordinary people can create a wise energy system from the bottom up. And Wren and the groups like us will not be put off by the odd people who want things to stay the same.
Excellent. Wren, remember the first organisation so far tonight to be described as fluffy. Jonathan, you have finished with your duties as a giver of awards, but I'd love to invite you to say a few words about why these award winners are so important.
Thank you. Thank you. So that won't be very difficult. I'm sure you will have seen for yourself that in those 4 insights, what you see there is a brilliant example of what I need to remind you is already the fastest growing sector in the UK economy, namely the green economy.
a sector that could be growing even faster than it is today. And you have all the critical ingredients of that economy there in those 4 award winners. In Monodraft, you have that brilliant, cutting-edge innovation that could change the way in which people think about air conditioning. In terms of the Sustainable Energy Academy, United House, you have really applied engineering, helping people cut costs, cut waste, cut pollution, cut disruption, all of those different and critical things. In the Wadebridge scheme, you have a wonderful, resolute, just do it community activism, suggesting how much more potential there is in that whole movement. And in the National Energy Agency, we have this applied capacity building, empowering people, as you saw, to use their skills and talent to bring about change in their own community. That's it. Those are the basic ingredients. All upside, no downside whatsoever. Unhappily, as you know, inadequately valued by the majority of politicians in this country, both nationally and locally, invariably misrepresented by the majority of the mainstream media in this country, and still apparently inaccessible to the majority of investors and those working on the capital markets who still can't get their head around what that all amounts to. Now, happily, of course, they are not inaccessible to us this evening, courtesy of the wonderful Ashden Awards, which continues to do this to all of us year after year, lifting our spirit, and I am absolutely certain they are not inadequately valued by every single person here this evening, who I imagine, like myself, is only too happy to celebrate that kind of inspiration and dedication. So thank you to our UK winners.
Brilliant. Thank you, Jonathan. We move on now to a new category, especially for schools, which recognises the role that schools have to play in ensuring that we have a more sustainable future. This year, our 4 finalists cover all ages, from infant to secondary schools. The finalists all tackle energy issues throughout their schools, from the buildings to the curriculum. We asked the schools themselves to make their own films about their sustainability. So let's hear from our 2 excellent schools. This is our first winner.
Why is it important to save energy, Alex?
Because if we don't, the world will get really poorly. These are our eco-friendly lights. We have sun tubes so the sun can come through the sun tubes and shine in our school. These are our sun tubes that let in the light from the sun. In the school kitchens, we keep a close eye on the electricity and make sure we don't use a lot of it. What are the changes to the kitchen?
We used to have 2 big upright freezers that was almost touching the ceiling.
We use an energy monitor to see how much energy we use each day in school. Freya's doing the energy monitor and checking how much it is to the last one day, and it is 133, which is really good. We're trying to get it below 200.
We got to see how much energy we use normally, and then in the second week we tried to reduce the amount of energy that we use. I was especially surprised about the kettle, how much energy that uses.
These are our bottle tops. You put a green one in if you turn your lights off. You put a red one in if you've left the lights on and you're still in the room. This is footprint, and we win this if we get the most green tokens. This is the magical pathway garden. This is where all wildlife lives. We want our world to be as green as it can be, don't we, Beth? Yes, Lily.
Proving that you are never too young to get into sustainability. South Farnborough Infant School, please come and accept your award.
Built in 1910, the very old age of the school building and the very young age of our children inside has made this award really precious for us. Our journey with Ashden began 3 years ago. The body of our school was good, but we thought we could change the Victorian clothes that it was wearing. Since then, we've begun to mentor other schools on their way. We've got low energy lighting, we've got solar tubes, insulation, careful monitoring, beautiful gardens, and a lively interlocked curriculum. Our parents are with us too on the same journey to someday being carbon neutral. Oscar and Freya. Oscar and Freya are picking up this award for all of our outstanding 4 to 7-year-olds who couldn't be here tonight to celebrate their success. They demonstrate every day that you're never too young to understand the threats to the world and embrace solutions to protect it. Well done, Team South Farnborough.
And off they go to get roaring drunk. Let's have a look at our other school winner in their own words.
Good evening, viewers, and welcome to Green Dreams, the channel which brings news of earth-shattering importance to earth lovers everywhere. Mayflower's the name, and green news is the game. Tonight, we feature Hollybush Primary School, nestled on the border between Derry and Donegal. A green flag school, and now, even more astoundingly, an Ashden Award winner. Our roving reporters will now bring you live to Hollybush, where green dreams are indeed becoming reality. Over to you, Adam.
Thank you, Maeve. I am joined at the school's biomass burning system with heat engineers Connor and Daniel. Lads, explain.
Waste timber, locally produced, burns here, heats water, heats radiators, carbon neutral, and boosts local employment. That's it in a willow nutshell. Amazing, Maeve.
A burning issue indeed, Connor. Now to Roisin with Hollybush's Energy Update.
Maeve, meet Cora, Energy Controller. Prepare to be amazed.
Why, thank you. Yes, it's an all-round success story. Oil is gone. Heating bill is halved. We're getting the RHI. Energy rating up from E to B. Electricity down by 15%.
photovoltaics on their way, 80% of waste recycled, and teachers terrified to put on a light.
Maeve. It's nothing short of a green miracle. Last stop, Ashden and the Eco Committee in the Wildlife Garden.
This is an absolute cave-in. Connor, tell us what you have here.
Pond full of life, including frogs, our sheep, JK and Paddy, who graze the willow wood, the willow tunnel, the wormery, the water butt, the vegetables and flower beds, and bird boxes and camera. They're nesting, an orchard and our outdoor reading grove.
Incredible! This can't be beaten. Till next time, viewers, I'm Maeve Parr, and you've been astounded.
It's a school of laughter and happiness. It's a school where we tolerate no mess. We reduce, we reuse, we recycle, tell our news. It's a green school after all.
It's a wrap!
Honeybush Primary, please come and collect your award.
What more can I possibly add to the video of our brilliant children? But I do accept this award on behalf of Daniel, Cora, Maeve, and all the children who are watching back at home. A special word of appreciation to the staff, to the parents, to the governors, Original Heating Solutions, the Western Education and Library Board, the Department of Education, Derry City Council, and our local ministers, especially Mark Durkin, our MP, who joins us here tonight. For their support and encouragement on our green journey, I thank you most sincerely. This is about all of our futures. It is about inspiring those who will make our futures. It is yet another step on the arduous road to a sustainable future for all our schools, homes, communities, and businesses. I now hand you over to the Vice Principal of the school and our eco-warrior, Mr. Fergal Free.
Thank you, Carmel. Now, folks, on to the really important stuff, the money. Due to our success here tonight, a local firm, All Pipe Engineering, has offered to fit photovoltaic panels to the roof of our school for the cost of materials only. Lots of free electricity. So the money has now got a very good home. Well, what about it, girls? Will we do it? Okay, off you go.
Well done.
Should we sing the song ourselves? No. The amazing Helen Skelton, who is an inspiration to any child and to any adult, actually, wanted to be here tonight to present the school's awards, but she's in Manchester filming Blue Peter, but she wouldn't let it lie, so she sent us this special message for both of our schools tonight.
The next generation are hugely important when it comes to preserving resources and protecting our planet. Now, schools obviously play a massive role in that, but it's not just about educating children. Schools can encourage pupils to go home and to inspire others to find new ways of saving energy and cutting costs. I am so impressed with the two winners in this category. Both schools have managed to cut carbon and become more sustainable. In turn, the children at these schools have even gone home and told their parents how they can save money, so well done to you. Massive congratulations to Hollybush Primary and South Farnborough Infant School, because what you have done is amazing. I'm sorry I can't be there to dish out the award myself, but I know you'll have a great night. Good luck in the future. I hope you continue to inspire others and keep up the good work.
I love Helen Skelton. I want to be Helen Skelton when I grow up. Okay, we're moving on to a new category. When it comes to cutting your carbon footprint, pollution, congestion and waistline, sustainable travel offers potential for big reductions. I am delighted to announce for the second year the Eurostar Ashden Awards for Sustainable Travel. Entries have come from France, Belgium and the UK, and this year the judges arrived at 4 finalists, from which we have 2 great winners. Let's have a look at what they do.
The winners of this year's Eurostar Ashden Awards for Sustainable Travel are both dramatically cutting the greenhouse gas emissions from our everyday journeys. Sustrans in the UK is linking its vast national network of cycle routes to town and city centres to make it easier to replace short car journeys with bicycle rides, making the bike a practical alternative to the car.
The real challenge we face nowadays is that the environment for cycling is not really suitable. In most towns and cities there are very, very few places where families can learn to cycle again. And that is what the National Cycle Network is all about.
In hilly parts of Britain, cycle routes have required some creative thinking, including the reopening this year of a mile-long railway tunnel under the southern suburbs of Bath to improve commuter access to the city for pedestrians and cyclists. Other measures across the country include purpose-built bridges over busy roadways and more subtle alterations like lowered curbs to make cities more cycle-friendly. Sustrans' vision is to get walking and cycling into the mainstream as a practical way of getting around. Also tackling the energy cost of short everyday journeys, Belgian transport company De Line found a novel way of cutting energy use, reducing the amount needed to heat the interior of its trams in winter.
We shouldn't call this mobility ticket, we should call this heating ticket, because the heating of the interior of a tram in wintertime costs more than riding from A to B. Now with this smoke we try to visualize how much hot air, how much money is coming out of the tram car every time that we open the double doors.
De Line's modifications include automatic valves to ensure just enough fresh air is heated to stop the interior from getting stuffy, and a slowing of the fans when the doors are open in winter to avoid blowing the warm air out of the tram car. The modified trams use 20% less energy, and the measures have been built into future specifications for all De Line's new trams and electric buses, as well as being fitted to the current fleet of modern vehicles.
We are incredibly grateful for the support of Eurostar, who've made this award possible by their brilliantly generous sponsorship, to present our 2 travel awards and then to tell us a little bit about their continued support of the Ashden Awards. I'd like to invite onto the stage the CEO of Eurostar, Nikola Petrovic. The first winner impressed the judges with some truly lateral thinking and an ingenious solution to a little recognised problem. Ladies and gentlemen, the victor from Belgium is The line.
Good evening. For those of you who arrived by tube tonight, you will know there are lots of issues with heating and cooling of trains. If you came by car, 70% of your petrol is wasted in heat. However, if you have an electric vehicle, like Flemish trams, all of the energy goes to the wheels. This is great, but it leaves us with a problem. There is no surplus heat to keep our passengers warm in winter. When we looked how much energy our trams used, we were really surprised to discover that we used more energy to heat our trams than to move them. Sucking in too much cold air in winter is expensive to heat. Sucking in too much hot air in summer is expensive to cool down. Sucking in not enough fresh air makes us ill. The solution we found is to monitoring the quality of the inside air and adjust to make it perfect for passengers, but much more efficient in energy use. In winter, we now save 50% of the energy, of the heating energy. So perhaps with a little help from Ashden, we can help you save lots of money on all of our electric vehicles too. You never know, one day we might find you a cooling system for London's tubes too. Thank you.
The second Eurostar Sustainable Travel Award goes to an organisation dedicated to making cycling a viable alternative to the car. The most excellent winner is Sustrans.
Well, thank you very much indeed for this award, and a very good evening to you all. For those of you who arrived by bike tonight, you will already know the freedom and the flexibility that cycling gives you. And as Patrick raised just now, it is the alternative of travelling in a hot, stuffy tube. It's not an attractive one. So thank you, Patrick, for your solutions coming forward, perhaps to our tube system too. At Sustrans, we have been working to change people's lives. We've been working with 84 communities, and that's actually 4 million people who can now be more physically active in their everyday lives. With their help, we've designed and then built safe routes for walking and cycling in their towns, in their cities, and in their villages. Connect2 has been, and the National Cycle Network, has been so successful. It must not be left as yet another superb demonstration project. I really look forward to working with many people in this room today and many organisations to ensure that many more people across the UK become more physically active through walking and cycling every day. Thank you very much.
Just out of interest, hands up anyone who did cycle here today. One. Big round of applause for that lady. Gentlemen. Okay, next year, that will have increased. Nicola, that's it. You've done your bit. We just would need you to talk a tiny bit about your commitment to the Ashden Awards. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. I'm really pleased to be here tonight. The first reason is that I love the Ashden Awards. It's my second year here, and I have to share something with you. It's the only award ceremony I really enjoy and I look forward to. I'm sure some of you know the feeling. And also because tonight we've got two great winners. I'm really pleased. Thanks to these two organizations, Sustran and Delane, we travel more sustainably. And that's fantastic. That's what we're about at Eurostar. That's what we are trying to do with this award. And the idea is not just to recognize them and say the good job they've done, it's to help them grow, be copied, so that the ideas spread not only in their home country, but all across Europe. And I include UK in Europe, of course. So that what am I saying? What am I saying? So, but that's, and so to help them, of course, there is a prize money. There is £30,000 that will be shared. I think it's 50-50, it's decided. And more importantly, to create connections and help them be known so that their ideas get spread. And actually, just before we entered the room, I was discussing with one of our winners of last year who had a fantastic car sharing scheme. And he told me how beneficial the Ashden Award had been over the past year. So it's all about the connection. He could work with the National Trust who was at the ceremony last year. You know, they made a connection, they worked together. So it's all about that. So a big thank you for the two winners, well done. And we will be back next year. And hopefully we will have also some good French entries. But thank you very much for your help.
And you know, Nicolas has enjoyed the ceremony so much today, as he said, that I think he's considering giving a free return ticket to Paris to every single person here and everybody watching on the webcam. Isn't that lovely? Just clobber him afterwards. He's really hoping to chat. As is clear from tonight's winners, Ashden is a leading energy award scheme, but it's actually way more than that. The really exciting stuff starts after tonight is over. Ashden work with their winners to help them develop and scale up their work. To hear more about the impact of winning award, we are delighted to welcome Don Tice, who is the CEO of D-Light, and he won the International Gold Award 3 years ago in 2010. Ladies and gentlemen, Don Tice.
3 years ago, Ashden recognized a tiny little company called D-Light Design, which was founded on the premise that you could combine the latest modern technology into a very high quality and also very affordable energy and lighting solution for the developing world. We were a very small company then, with 30 employees, maybe selling 25 or 30,000 lights per month. And the impact of the Ashden Award was immediate. Our sales inquiries went up by 20 or 30 times. We sold tens of thousands of lights directly through the exposure that we received, which included being on CNN and the BBC, and relevant for us, being covered by the Hindustan Times. But perhaps the longest term effect might be when Sarah decided, probably shortly after the award ceremony here, to focus her persuasive powers on the director of the British Museum, who hadn't quite yet put the finishing touches on his monumental work, The History of the World in 100 Objects. And as a result of Sarah grabbing him by the lapels, some of you may have had that experience, D-Light was named the 100th object in the History of the World in 100 Objects. 3 years later, we've now reached a point where we reach over 1 million new people and change their lives every month with renewable solar power and light. We'll reach over 25 million people this year. We sell over 300,000 lights per month, 10 times the level we did 3 years back. We have over 200 direct employees and 500 employees indirectly in total that count on us for their daily life. It's been a remarkable journey, and we're incredibly grateful to the Ashden Award and Sarah and the team and all of you who stand behind them. And prizes like the Ashden Awards can catalyze innovation in whole new sectors by attracting the kind of entrepreneurship and competition, and by attracting the financial and intellectual resources that we need to solve problems like this. It's made a really big difference to us, as I'm sure it does to you. Thank you.
It is such a brilliant story, the kind of perfect mixture of business and a foundation and charitable endeavour and a sustainability vision coming together and creating a complete win-win-win-win situation. That's fantastic. Thank you, Dom. We are going travelling. The next award is a new category sponsored by the World Bank that recognises the vulnerability of small island developing states. We had 4 excellent finalists that are leading the way in renewable energy and energy efficiency on these islands. Let's have a look at the work of the 2 winners.
Small islands around the world face unique challenges, including high dependence on expensive imported fuel and severe stress on natural resources such as forests. Many are particularly vulnerable to rising sea levels and extreme weather resulting from climate change. Our small island winners are demonstrating the opportunities offered by renewable energy, from stimulating local economies to increasing energy access while also conserving natural resources. Cabiolica was established in 2009 to reduce Cape Verde's dependence on costly imported fuel. A small island developing state, 500 kilometers off the coast of West Africa, the country is poor in natural resources. But one thing it does have in abundance is wind. Cabiolica has harnessed that wind power, with the result that Cape Verde has become a world leader in wind energy. 4 wind farms now supply 18% of Cape Verde's electricity and 30% on 2 islands, resulting in a more reliable electricity supply, helping to boost economic growth, particularly the expanding tourist industry. The project's been so successful that the government plans to introduce 100% renewable electricity to the country by 2020, ensuring Cape Verde has a sustainable future. D&E Green Enterprises' fuel-efficient cook stove is helping to bring clean energy to Haiti. In 2010, a devastating earthquake hit Haiti, destroying the company's new factory. Undeterred, the enterprise now operates under tents. Its stoves use less charcoal and, as a result, less wood, vital in a country that suffered massive deforestation. Compared to traditional stoves, the Eco-Rico uses 55% less charcoal, which saves consumers money and produces less smoke, which has important health benefits. As soon as finance can be secured, the company will build a new factory to scale up production and create up to 500 jobs.
We are not in the business of cooking stove. We are in the business of really helping people better their lives.
To present the awards and then address us with his considerable wisdom, please welcome onto the stage the Director of the Sustainable Energy Department of the World Bank, Mr. Vijay Iyer. Our first winner, as you've seen, has harnessed the power of the wind so that it now accounts for nearly a fifth of the nation's electricity production. Please welcome from Cape Verde, Cabiolica.
Thank you. If you haven't been to Cape Verde, I would like to tell you about the thing that is most abundant there, the wind. It might be the only place where there is recorded wind 365 days in the year, some days weaker, some days strong, but always present. If you are a sailor or a windsurfer, you might enjoy this. But if you are most people in Cape Verde, you have probably learned to find it a problem. It is strong, it is constantly present, and it blows dust and sand at you. We have now learned to harness that problem, and the wind today is a reason to rejoice, since now it is known as a powerful national resource capable of providing a large quantity of clean and cheap electricity to our country, as Cabeólica is demonstrating. The wind is now our gold. We are inspired that our project has helped motivate decision makers in our country to set ambitious renewable energy targets, and we hope to help Cape Verde continue to be one of Africa's leaders in the wind energy. We thank Ashden for helping us celebrate this. Thank you.
The other award winner in this category has brought huge benefits to local people and helped protect trees against overwhelming odds. The winner from Haiti is D&E Green Enterprises.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm thrilled to be a winner and be among, the past winners of this prestigious award. I will start my speech by telling you a story. Actually, I will tell you my story. In January 5th, 2010, we had just finished training our first 15 employees. We had just hired them from the main slum of Haiti, a slum called Cité Soleil, which simply means City of Sun. Anybody who's been to Haiti know what I'm talking about. Those people, those 15 people, for the most of them were for the very first time had the very first formal jobs. They have very little education, and they were very thrilled to have a job. We had also just finished with our plan building our factory at that time, and a week later, in January 12, 2010, a huge earthquake hit Haiti, killing around 300,000 people, leaving over 1 million without home, living in tents. Our factory was completely destroyed as well. That could have been the end for us, but that was just the beginning. We've decided to keep the project going under very difficult situation, using tents as manufacturing space. Today, we are still using those tents, and those tents were further damaged with hurricane. However, I am very happy to report that while we are using those tents, our people, our staff, are moving out of the slum of Cité Soleil, and they are moving into safe home, some of them for the very first time in their life, having a home that they can call theirs, having access to electricity, water, and sanitation. This is really why I do what I do. It's what's motivated me to do this. I see myself not in the business of manufacturing stove. Rather, I see myself in the business of restoring life and human dignity. A simple device like a cook stove can actually empower people to change their life and escape poverty. Please, join us in breaking the cycle of poverty, not only in Haiti, but around the world. Thank you.
Vijay, we would love to hear a few words from you, if that was okay, about the World Bank's work in this area. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's really fantastic to be here, and you can feel the buzz. This is, such an energy in the room around the whole idea of sustainability, and I really want to thank Sarah and her wonderful team in Ashden This is a partnership that we really feel privileged to be part of. And I think the kind of work Ashden is doing and the commitment that it is demonstrating to sustainability is really something unique, and the way you have sustained it for so many years. And bringing in new categories of awards for schools, for now small island states, I think we are really broadening the campaign quite dramatically. So I just wanted to say on behalf of the World Bank and on behalf of the program which we have put in place for supporting small island states, the SIDS-DOC program, under which we are picking up the kind of projects that you have heard about. It's really remarkable the amount of innovation and the new thinking that we see on ideas. And we are particularly pleased because small island states represent a tremendous challenge for the people living on those islands. They are really in the crosshairs of trying to meet their energy demands and facing the impact of climate change. For us, it's an abstractism to say here that there is climate change impact, but for our people living in the islands, it's a day-to-day reality. The sea level rise is at their doorstep. They can see it every day, how it is affecting them. And the more solutions that we can find and the more innovations we can celebrate, foster, and support, the more is the hope that we can give to so many of these islanders all over the world, dotted in small places, spread out miles away in the oceans. And this is the kind of support system that we need to create for them. So my thanks go out to Ashden, to SIDS-DOC, to our contributors, the Government of Japan, Government of Denmark, and the Energy Sector Management Assistance Program in the World Bank that has been supporting this kind of innovation, risk-taking, and knowledge work for many years, for 30 years now. And we really look forward to working with Ashden to see how we can continue to create this very supportive system. So please join me in celebrating these innovators, these risk takers, and congratulations to the winners. And we really look forward to working with these kinds of ideas and innovations to take the world forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vijay. Fantastic. We move, ladies and gentlemen, on to the final category. It's the International Awards. The judges wanted it to be known that they had a really difficult task picking 7 finalists from the 140 applicants and then arriving at just 4 winners. Those that made it through are excellent examples of the power sustainable energy has to change millions of lives in some of the most remote and difficult locations in the world.
This year's international winners are taking familiar sustainable technologies and finding new ways of getting them into the hands of those who can benefit most. The winners, all working in Africa, are tackling barriers from upfront cost to political instability and challenging transport infrastructure. In Tanzania, UK charity SolarAid is using rural head teachers and their schools as a distribution network for low-cost solar lights.
We were talking to a head teacher earlier today who told us that the closest solar light shop is over 100 kilometres away. It's all about distribution.
SolarAid's strategy has seen sales increase from 200 to 50,000 solar lights a month in 2 years, making it the largest supplier in Africa.
Before I was using a kerosene lamp, which was affecting my lungs. That's why I've decided to buy this one. It is useful indeed because it doesn't produce any soot.
In Kenya, Azuri Technologies is taking a different approach to solar electrification. For larger solar electric systems that are powerful enough to charge mobile phones and light a home, the most significant barrier for customers is the initial cost, still at least $70. Taking advantage of the network of rural kiosks selling mobile phone top-up cards, Azuri gives customers pay-as-you-go access to the advantages of solar electricity.
1 is the cost. 2, it doesn't fail.
and 3, it is able to charge our mobile phones.
The solar system is installed for a one-off charge of $10 and then the only cost is around $1.50 for top-up cards, each containing a code which activates the solar system for a week.
Thanks to Azuri for coming up with such a bright idea. It's amazing and it's wonderful.
Impact Carbon's work in Uganda uses money from carbon credits generated by fuel-efficient stoves and water filters to invest in local businesses and distribution partners and make the products more affordable to those who need them most. The scheme depends on accurately quantifying the amount of greenhouse gas emissions saved by the products.
So you can actually determine the fuel saving, and this would be used in the calculation of the emissions reductions.
You go from actually measuring the reduction and turn it into a product that can be sold. Organizations, individuals, anyone basically can voluntarily offset their emissions.
And the money is ploughed back into supporting the industry in Uganda, reducing the price of stoves. Impact Carbon helped one of the manufacturers it works with increase sales from 200 a month to 13,000. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, the fuel-efficient stove is a vital tool for WWF in its efforts to halt the deforestation of Virunga National Park, home to some of the last remaining mountain gorillas. On the border with Rwanda, the forest is being illegally cut down for charcoal, the main cooking fuel in the nearby city of Goma. WWF is promoting the fuel-efficient stoves, which use 50% less charcoal than traditional designs, by training local businesses to make and sell them.
Thanks to the stoves, we'll cut less trees to use as charcoal. The gorillas and chimpanzees will then have shelter and will be able to live in the forest.
The organisation estimates its programme has reduced charcoal use in Goma by 20%, thanks to growing acceptance of the benefits, backed by a publicity campaign including radio programmes.
Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, auditeurs de la radio-télévision communautaire Taïna que vous écoutez de Goma.
WWF is also helping local farmers to plant fast-growing trees specifically for harvesting to make charcoal to further reduce the pressure on the national park. Another way of reducing the environmental impact of Goma's charcoal industry.
Even without the help of WWF, people will keep on building improved stoves because they can do good business with them. Because there are plenty of benefits, economic and environmental.
So for the first time ever, all of our winners are working in Africa, reflecting the need for creative solutions to energy access in that most diverse and dynamic of continents. To present these awards, please welcome on stage a real live government minister. We are thrilled to be joined by the Undersecretary of State for International Development at DFID, Lynn Featherstone. Also, without doubt, the hottest government minister. Sorry. Our first international award is the Zenstrom Philanthropies Ashden Award for Innovation. The winner has ingeniously overcome the hurdle of the high upfront costs of solar power, and the award goes to Azuri Technologies.
Until a year ago,
one of our customers, Anna, had to burn candles for light. And somehow she managed to bring up 3 children on that basis. Now, I have 3 children, and I've got no idea how she managed to do it. Now she has clean solar light, and the cost of that solar light is less than the cost of the kerosene and the mobile phone charging that it replaced. And this story is being repeated across Africa, from Kenya to Zimbabwe to Sierra Leone, where pay-as-you-go solar is enabling people to change their lives. This growth happens because of our partners in each country, and I'm tremendously proud to have Edward Namaska here, our Kenyan partner today. In 18 months, Edward's team has grown from nothing to 35 people who bring tremendous energy and enthusiasm to enable people to have light, phone charging, radio, and access to media in rural Africa. With access to even modest energy, Azuri believes that rural Africa has the potential to skip the Industrial Revolution and jump to the knowledge economy, transforming the lives of 500 million people, and we're delighted to be playing our part in that transformation. Thank you very much.
Our next award is the City Ashden Award for Financial Innovation. This organisation is dramatically expanding local stove businesses in Africa, which is crucial both to the ecology and to health. The winner is Impact Carbon.
So tomorrow is the summer solstice, and on behalf of myself and my coworkers, Meg, Joe, and Matt, I want to say that we're delighted to be here, especially at this time of year. If you get out this summer for a barbecue and you're lighting up your grill, take a minute to think and imagine what it would be like to use charcoal every single day, in and out, for every meal. Also cooking with campfires every single day, for every meal if you don't have access to charcoal. And if this was happening here in London, cooking with these fuels indoors on the few days a year where you might have bad weather. Tonight, I think all of us can find inspiration from both close to half the people in the world who are faced with this challenge every single day, and inspiration from the businesses who are really taking the time to understand what these customers need and to find and help supply solutions, clean energy solutions that are cleaner, safer, more affordable, and efficient. Thank you.
Now we come to the second award of the evening, which is supported by the Ashden Friends. This winner's ingenious distribution methods mean that power is now getting to the people that need it most. The award for innovative distribution goes to Solar Aid.
When one of our customers buys a solar light, something truly magic happens. From that very first night when they take it home, they no longer breathe noxious fumes. They no longer have to worry about having a petrol bomb in their home. Their children will study for an extra hour every evening. But incredibly, the most amazing thing that happens is that our customers, some of the very poorest people in the world, start saving an average of £77 per year, money that they spend on food, education, and their small businesses. In the last 4 years, Sunny Money, SolarAid's business, has sold 500,000 lights. But here's the amazing thing. 109,000 of those lights, over 20%, have been sold by my colleagues in the last 60 days. Tonight, we pay tribute to a previous Ashden Award winner, Solar Century, the remarkable London-based solar company that set up SolarAid a few years ago with 5% of their profits and continues to donate 5% of their profits to us every year. And we call upon all of you to join us in one of the great social and environmental opportunities of our time, the eradication of the kerosene lamp from Africa by the end of this decade. Thank you very much.
Well spoken. Our final international award is the Waterloo Foundation Ashden Award for Avoided Deforestation. The Ashden judges were really excited to see a conservation charity stimulating the clean cook stove market to tackle deforestation and making rapid progress despite the continuing conflict. The winner is WWF-DRC.
I'm so glad to be here and share this great honor with all of you. The Virunga National Park in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo is the home of the mountain gorilla, an endangered species. About 1 million people live close by in the provincial capital of Goma. They burn charcoal, thus threatening the habitat of the gorillas and other species because of illegal charcoal production, mostly from the park itself. Our fuel-efficient stoves project reduces charcoal consumption in households by 1/2, contributing to reduced pressure on the park. It protects the gorilla's habitat and other essential environmental values. Other project advantages are healthier cooking and local economic development. We are encouraged by these results and their major environmental and social impacts. We are proud of our accomplishments, but big challenges remain in other parts of the park and in other urban areas facing similar problems. Based on this experience, we are ready to expand our actions to other parts of the Eastern Congo to increase the benefits of our approach. We accept this award with all modesty and respect and look forward to the continued success of our efforts. Thank you very much.
I would now like to invite Lynn to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Emma. Good evening, everyone. I have to say it's an absolute delight to be here. I haven't been to the Ashden Awards before, only because you didn't invite me. But I have to say that twice tonight I have teared up. I didn't expect it to be so emotional. I have to say it was the children in Haiti that did that to me, and I'm sure it did it to others in the room. It's been truly, truly inspirational. So, in terms of my own category, many, many congratulations. Not just my category, tonight to all of the winners and all of the runners-up, both those working in the United Kingdom and internationally, for your truly inspirational and innovative achievements. You are at the forefront of a global transformation towards sustainable energy for all. And I can provide no greater endorsement of the importance of your work than that given recently by the high-level panel on the future of the Millennium Development Goals. Their report puts sustainable energy right at the heart of the post-2015 agenda on development. Thank goodness. The message is clear. There is no development without energy. And if we are to have a future on this planet, the energy we use must be clean and must be efficient. This matters to everyone. As we saw, it matters to children to be able to study at night because of the lighting, that solar lighting provided by Solar Aid. It matters to the people to be able to use clean energy for the first time because they can install and use pay-as-you-go to have access to that sort of lighting, thanks to Azuri. It matters to the people able now to get a job in the energy business because Impact Carbon is helping to grow that business. And it matters to the women and girls who spend less time collecting firewood and choking on toxic smoke or exposing themselves to danger by having to go far to find firewood, thanks to WWF-DRC. And of course, the less firewood they have to collect, the less pressure on the Congo rainforest. All of this matters to DFID, and we will continue to play a leading role in supporting the kind of innovative and enterprising solutions that we've seen tonight, working together to achieve sustainable energy for all. Thank you all very much.
Every year, one of our international and one of our UK winners receives a coveted gold award that brings with it additional prestige and an increase in prize money. To present these final two awards of the night, I'm now going to ask the founder of Ashden, Sarah Butler-Sloss, to join me on the stage. That was like a very polite RGS version of a standing ovation, you know. Prolonged applause for the woman who has created the event that means the word innovative and sustainable is said more times than any other day in the UK. To win a gold award, a winner has to demonstrate excellence, innovation, and the greatest potential to grow and to influence the spread of sustainable energy. All this year's UK winners show great innovation and leadership in bringing energy efficiency and renewable energy to many more homes and offices and communities across the UK. They gave the judges a very difficult task of choosing one between them all. However, one of them did stand out for its innovation, which has the potential to cut energy bills, reduce fuel poverty, and make millions of UK homes more comfortable and fit for the 21st century. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2013 UK Gold Award winner is Sustainable Energy Academy and United House.
Very briefly, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sarah. You've done a great job. Thank you.
Just thank you, Ashden. Thanks for the platform and the chance to take this much further forward. We're passionate about saving that money. And thanks to my family watching online tonight.
Many congratulations, our favourite double act. And now, the final award of the entire night, the International Gold Award. All of this year's international winners were remarkable organisations that have found new ways of overcoming the many hurdles that threaten so many sustainable energy enterprises. But one organisation stood out for its success in overcoming one of the biggest hurdles of all, the last mile. In just 2 years, it has become Africa's largest solar light seller. The 2013 International Gold Award goes to Solar Aid.
Wow. Thank you, Sarah, and thank you to the Ashden team who've been such fabulous hosts this week. I'd like to dedicate this award to our staff, our Indigenous African staff, some of whom spend months away from their wives and children and husbands, out in the field, miles and miles away from home, selling lights for us every day. They do a truly extraordinary job, so this is for them. Thank you very much.
You also get the award for the best shoes of the night. Congratulations to all of our winners. Our grateful thanks to all of our guests for presenting this year's award so beautifully and looking so nice as well, and so clean. It's important. I'd like to now ask Ashden's founder director, Sarah Butler-Sloss, to say a few final words.
Thank you, Emma, for doing such a wonderful job at guiding us through this evening so well. Many, many thanks. Thank you. Thank you to all our speakers for speaking with such wisdom, eloquence, and brevity. Thank you. And thank you to our wonderfully generous funders, without whom tonight wouldn't be possible and these awards wouldn't be around. Thank you to the World Bank for creating and helping us create a new awards category this year. And thank you in advance to USAID for creating a new award for 2014 for energy and agriculture. But most of all, thank you to our winners for your inspirational work that is making such a huge difference to everyone across the globe. You're amazing people, you're doing remarkable things, and you are champions and leaders in your field. You're transforming the lives for the better of so many people, while also reducing our dependence on costly fossil fuels and carbon emissions that come from burning them. As I'm sure we're all too aware, that our climate is changing. It's changing rapidly. Our weather is becoming less predictable. And the overwhelming majority of climate scientists are telling us that climate change has been created by us. We need to change our ways. And yet, at this time, many people are telling us we can't afford to, that there are more pressing things to deal with, such as poverty, the economy, and growth. How many people actually realize that our net fossil fuel import bill is a staggering £21 billion, which is 72% of the UK current account deficit? Surely we can't afford not to act. I believe we can tackle all these things together. Investing in energy efficiency and renewable energy offers the opportunity of making businesses more efficient, providing huge numbers of new jobs, and cutting the deficit, as well as lifting millions of people across the globe out of poverty. Our winners are doing all of these things, showing us what is possible and opening up opportunities for us to take. And tonight's elite group join an alumni of over 150 Ashden Award winners, whose work together is improving the lives of 37 million people. Between them, they are cutting carbon emissions by over 5 million tonnes every year. Now I know that I am the only thing between you and a glass of wine, so I won't keep you much longer, I promise. But for a moment, let's imagine a world in 10 years from now, when the children from the schools that we've heard from this evening are just starting university. Let's imagine a typical town in the UK in which all homes are so well insulated that the fuel needed to warm them is halved. Imagine a town in which much of its heat and power is generated locally, where cycling to work and to school is safe and a healthy thing to do. Buildings are cooled naturally and with minimal power. A town in which every school, every hospital, and every local business not only has cut their energy use by half, but it is also generating much of it themselves, putting the savings back into education, into healthcare, and into profits. Now imagine that across the whole of the UK, with sustainable energy employing hundreds of thousands of people, giving us greater energy security and saving the nation billions on those fossil fuel import bills. Now imagine a rural African village where everyone is cooking on clean, efficient stoves that save local trees and improve the health of all the women and children. Where everyone has electricity thanks to solar power, which is both charging their phones, their TVs and computers, and helping leapfrog that village into the 21st century. Imagine everyone across that vast continent with access to modern energy, largely from renewable power. It's reducing poverty, it's helping grow economies, and reducing the imports of expensive fossil fuels. Does that sound realistic? Am I living in a cloud cuckoo land? I believe we've got the technology. We know we've got the technology, we've got the know-how, and our winners are showing all of this is possible. In a few years' time, solar and wind will be the same price as, and in some places cheaper than grid-powered electricity from fossil fuels. This is the world that I want to pass on to my children, to your children, and to the children that were on the stage earlier today, this evening. I want to pass it on to the next generation. It's a world that offers a hope for a better life for everyone, everywhere. This is the world that Ashden wants to help create. Please join us in any way you can to help create this world. We would love your support in kind, in action, or in funds. Please keep in touch with us. Thank you all for joining us this evening, and please join us in celebrating these wonderful winners for some drinks and some food next door. Thank you, and good evening.